Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're to join me today here in the Fifth Eye, as we look for the adversary that's plaguing these guys up here. And I took the liberty to come around here in between episodes and do a few things that we hadn't done before. Namely, tell Claren to go away. We can do that with ease, but I don't think my character would want to do that. You can see, I can show you. Let's see. Hey Claren, how's it going? So basically you're not wanted here. The veterans would like you to leave. That's something I can tell her. But I'm trying to get the adversary out of here, before I do that. The problem is I can't really do that. I think Almas might know something, but Almas doesn't want to talk to me right now. He doesn't say anything. Who does say stuff is Leto over here. She has some opinions on our companions, and I wanted to ask about Eratis because she doesn't know him, and I also want to ask about Rin because Rin is our newest companion, and also speaking of which, we need to level up, so let me save the game here and let's take care of business. So yeah, well, Aliger needs to level up. He's now tier 2, so he's gonna be getting okay, so probably an extra skill over here is gonna be important. She's got healing. Okay, that's interesting. So, okay, perception would have been good for her. Let's see if I got any sort of overlapping things. Quick fingers for her. Okay, so basically the only thing that she doesn't have is the intimidation. But she doesn't have persuasion. Okay, so the problem. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Probably gonna go with improved skill. He's got lower machinery, and I got lower machinery as well. So, for Cypher use, well, to be honest, Aliger is not really that good at much. So let's go with improved skill. Let's see what I can do here. Lower net, I know. Shut up. Shut up. Nope. Take that away. Take that away. Oh, I can select anything. So intimidation. That would be something. Aliger seems like it fits his character. Let's go with that. Lower natural, I got that already. Yeah, intimidation is better. Let's go with that. And that's going to be his level up done. Now, let's talk to Leto over here and see what she has to say about Eratis and about Rin. So, it's basically all again. Can you tell me more about my party members? So, Eratis, what do you think about Eratis? Yes, tell me about me. She frowns at him and pokes a finger at the golden glow that surrounds him. She snatches her finger back as if burned. His future is bright, but short. After a long moment, he bursts out, "Was that it? I expected to hear something about fighting Sarax or leaping heroically onto a flying vehicle and wresting the controls from its savage pilot. I do like to fly, you know. I'm a very good pilot. That's the kind of thing I wanted to hear about." The faintest touch of a sad frown at the corners of her mouth is her only response. What about Rin? She takes Rin's hands in hers. "Child, the future is uncertain. The one you travel with is a decisive force in your life, though it remains to be seen whether this force is for good or for ill. I cannot advise you, for your future is in flux. You must make the choice yourself." Okay, well, as you wish. I'll see you later. And there's really not much I can do. I tried talking to everybody, nothing happens. I can't figure out who the adversary is, so basically either that's a quest that I'm not going to be able to figure out, or it's simply, I don't know. I've gone through all the dialogue lines, so I have no idea. So yeah, let's go to the only place that we haven't been to yet, which is the surgical parlor, or whatever it's called, and let's go up these ladder. There we go, or stair, rather, I should say. And let's have a chat here with Jernot, or Jernol, or whatever his name is. Let's also look at these things. The shape of this operating table provides little information regarding the physiology of the beings it was originally designed to treat. Yeah, it doesn't really, it looks like pretty, straightforward. What about this thing up here? The books jamming the shelves of this desk are divided equally between obscure medical texts and mechanical how-to manuals. These shelves abound with beakers, flasks, and other myriad containers. The utter lack of labels on any of them is somewhat worrying. These displays show information regarding patients conveniently visible from anywhere within the parlor, and also from outside, because I had seen that, and yeah, you probably can see that from anywhere. Why is it up there though? Anyway, let's have a chat here with the, well, let's see if I can chat to the surgical drone. Come on, or chirurgical or whatever. This small mechanical surgeon is roughly the size of your head. At the end of one of its arms, a trio of slender razor-sharp blades flick at the air. It's not clear whether it's trying to sense you or warning you to keep your distance. Let's examine the drone. I think it's gonna be fine. The drone buzzes a warning at you as you lean in for a closer look. The retractable blades leap to your attention. A tiny shaft of light graces the edge of each one, and they taste the air like tiny tongues. But you also notice a panel beneath the blades, fluttering like an insect's wing. Beneath you catch a glimpse of a row of sawtooth injectors. I have seen this before, Eligern mutters. He reaches for the back of the drone and it slashes at him with an outraged hiss. Your companion dips beneath the blurring blades and pokes an innocuous patch on the thing's plating. A hidden panel flies open, filling the air with an incomprehensible babble of high-pitched voices. See what you've got here is a sleeping peon, he says, leaning casually out of the way of another of the drone's furious swipes. Friend of mine had a bunch of wild theories about them, he says. Shame he still had them in his head when one of these things chopped it off. What a bunch of theories? Oh, the theories. Oh, okay, I see. It whirs as at his throat, hacking and thrusting, he ducks. One thing he didn't manage to tell me is that they forget all about you if you don't touch them for 10 seconds. The drone pauses in the air, cocking to one side, then the hatch slaps shut, silencing the babbling voices. There. See? Says Eligern. Yeah? Can I examine it again? The drone jabs its nested blades at you when you go for a second look. Okay, so I'm not gonna mess around with it, apparently. I'm not really sure how I feel about these things. They kind of look like the head grabbers or whatever from Half-Life. A little bit, the shape of their head. Let's see if I can do something with this guy. Not really, they're both the same. So let's have a chat here with Jino. Let's go with Jino and see what he has to say. This old man's skin is covered in makeup painstakingly drawn to resemble dark stone. His eyes widen briefly as he notices you, and his face and neck hardens into actual obsidian for a moment. Then he smiles and nods at you, his features mobile once more. Welcome, welcome, he says. Sorry about the stone. Polymorphic flesh modification, you see. I didn't see you walk up, and I assumed you were going to cut my throat and take my surgical parlor for yourself. So why would you think such a thing? I do good business here, the old man shrugs. If I were a younger man looking to make a name for myself in this city, I'd kill me too. My surgical parlor is a marvel of prior world, you see. Just pick an item or a service, pay my outrageous fees, and after only a short to long period of fairly safe but indescribable agony, you walk away with some horrible Numenera bits whirring around away inside you. Yeah, he pokes a few buttons on a device strapped to his wrist, and lights twinkle across its length of the device or of the wrist. A dark, glassy lens focuses on you. Well, interesting? I can't help noticing that you're a very honest man. Well spotted, he says, nodding. Clear streaks of quartz run up his prominent cheekbones, revealing the muscle beneath. It's a side effect of my modifications. Couldn't lie to you if you begged me to. Well, honesty is usually a hindrance to a businessman, but people seem to like it. It's a blessing, in my opinion, he thinks. Well, it doesn't say everything that he thinks then. So, how did you come to own this parlor? It was originally a partnership. My colleagues and I spent 2 years digging it out and getting the whole mess working. Of course, we had to test drones before we tried them on anyone else. Customers getting skinned alive on opening day is bad for business. Turns out that was a wise move. Gorna chose an intelligence modification, and the drones cut off his head to work on it more directly. Meyer picked strength, and the drone sliced off her arms. They defaulted to sever in those days. He smiles fondly. Anyway, 6 partners later, I was the sole proprietor. I worked out the kinks, and here we are, with no fatalities in months. No fatalities in months. The strongest survived, he thinks. Of course, it might not have been me, but, well, it was. Yeah, well, it was a risk that you were, I suppose, willing to take. It paid off for you, by default, I guess, because otherwise the you would be somebody else, but it would still be you. So show me your list of items and services. Of course, he says, tapping a few buttons. Actually, this would be a fantastic business for a cast-off, because you wouldn't die. He says, tapping a few buttons on the broad device encircling his wrist. The lens beams a cone of light directly into your eye, which immediately begins watering. Blinking, you see a menu of items, seemingly hanging in the air. Okay, I get... Wait a minute. These... What? The clawed gauntlets. The jagged memory. That doesn't sound right. The encroaching darkness? Wait a minute, what's that? A beguiling name, isn't it? He says, his laugh lines crinkling. I'm glad you like it because, well, I'm not quite sure what it does. It's a living creature, you see, that crawls around your body while you sleep. Eventually, it takes root in your nervous system and, does something. Could be good, could be bad, could be both. It certainly wouldn't be boring. 100 shins. Oh, that's quite cheap. I thought it was gonna be way more expensive than that. Boy, we have like 1,000. That's fine. That's good. That's good. What are blood nanites? That sounds good. Oh, it's quite simple, he says. The drones fill your blood with millions of tiny machines that promptly begin devouring you alive until they learn to differentiate between your body and anything that's not supposed to be in there. After that, they'll do their level best to purge toxins and illness from your body with every pump of your heart. In case I wasn't clear, this one is really going to hurt. 95 shins, paid in advance, please. Yeah, I suppose you would always get paid in advance, wouldn't you? Yeah, I probably want... maybe I don't. Actually, I don't know. What is a Numenera analyzer? It sounds safe. Well, it's quite safe, he says. Most of the time, anyway, in almost 3 out of 5 cases. And the procedure couldn't be simpler. The drones simply saw your skull open, shove an implant into the right spot, and seal everything back up. Again, he clasped his hands. Once they do that, the implant will help you identify the purposes of unknown Numenera. It costs 95 shins, but it pays for itself. Oh, I think that's good. I think that's good. I'll take it. Yeah, that's our money right there. That doesn't sound right, what I just heard. The drone's metallic arms pin you in place, and you hear a circular saw spinning faster and faster. Well, you can't claim Juggernaut or Juggernaut. Jino didn't warn you. The blade clips through your skull in a heartbeat, and pincers pry the loose cap aside. You are distantly aware of struggling against the drone's unwielding arms before a metal spine jams itself into your brain. Everything goes white. After mending... I took damage, didn't I? Yeah, I did. After mending your breached skull, the machines release you. You stagger, but keep your feet as the implant begins humming. Wait a minute. I got operated standing up? What? Swirls of text streak past your vision as the thing comes to life. Interesting little thing, isn't it? Jino says. It does, get puzzled by larger Numenera, but it should be able to handle most smaller things you find scattered around. Is there anything else I can help you with? Okay, so now I have Numenera Analyzer. And the reason why I took this is because it actually kind of fits my character, because it's kind of sort of a kind of guy that's interested in that sort of stuff, but also because we have a few Numenera, or things anyway, that we don't really know, like the mirror thing that shows me my parent, or the stone from Rin. So, yeah, show me your list of services again. Oh boy. An artificial eyeball. Really? What is that? Very popular item, he says, nodding. The meat ones wear out so easily. This one never does, and it'll help you spot things normal eyes miss. All it takes is a one-time cost of 110 shins and a tremendously unpleasant operation. Yeah, because he doesn't have anesthesia. Well, I'll take the eye. Ugh! No! Ouch. The drone holds your head mercilessly rigid, while another approaches, claws outstretched. Block. Your head is screaming at you, and you're pretty sure you're screaming back. A third drone, this is so good that I'm getting all this stuff without actually feeling the pain. A third drone, a gleaming blur behind the pain, approaches with a new eye gently clasped in its claw. Chunk. Oh boy. Well, I'm taking damage, but sure. The drones release you, groaning and clutching your head. You feel a new eye squirming into your socket, connecting with the nerves there. Then the pain stops. You study your hand, noticing a scar on your hand that you've never seen before. Amazing, isn't it? Jino says. Are you in need of something else? So I gained another ability, artificial eyeball. Okay, I like this. Let's look at this. I'm not gonna get everything, but full body modifications. Oh, can I buy a full body modification like the one you offered to Pico? Oh, no, he says. You're too old, far too old, practically ancient compared with that poor lumpy boy. Those particular augmentations prefer young flesh, but there's plenty of other enhancements here on sale. Which one interests you? So, how painful are the procedures, I ask, after I already have gone through 2 quite painful procedures. Oh, this is a popular question, he says, and it does vary from procedure to procedure, but if you're seeking a general area, he taps his chin thoughtfully. My customers usually range between shrieking for a merciful death and groaning while soiling themselves, if that helps, but they almost always seem happy with the results when they survive. Now, are you ready to buy something? Yeah, so, I can't get the encroaching darkness out of my head. Yes, I can. What about the jagged memory? Since we are not buying it right away, I might as well ask. This, he says with a raised finger, is a tricky one. It's a mesh that fuses through your skin, leaving jagged marks like tattoos. When you attack, you'll always hit your enemy's old wounds, even if, well, even if they weren't there before. Told you it was a tricky one. What do you mean? Like, you can't hit enemies that are not wounded? Is that it? That's a combat modification. I really don't need that. What about the clawed gauntlets? Well, I knew that would catch your eye, he says, digging you in the ribs. We plant long, hollow rods in your forearms with steel blades sheathed inside. Just flick your wrist, and out they pop, surprising anyone who mistook you for unarmed. He demonstrates with his unoccupied wrist, making little shh sounds. 125 shins for the weapon, and the work both. Nah, I don't need that. I'm a ranged kind of guy. Although the encroaching darkness is the... I don't need that. I really don't need that. I think that's gonna be a terrible thing. So farewell. I will see you later. I won't miss you, but I'll miss your money. Yeah, I'm sure you will. Okay, so let's look at the items that we have on us. Also, we didn't operate this thing, did we? I don't think we did, so that's gonna be something that we also need to do. Let's look at the items that we have on us. Specifically, this thing can't do anything there. I expected it wouldn't be able to do anything right now. Supposedly he knows everything of hiding. Yeah, that's not a thing either. Okay, well, that's as good as it's gonna get. Call shield. That's my artifacts. Okay, sure. So, how do I activate my ability? I probably don't. Yeah. I probably don't. Ring of El Amor confers the negative fettles. Removes negative fettles. Okay, so let's look at this thing and see what it is. This silent... Yeah, I haven't been here before. This silent and ancient machine casts a long shadow. As you study it, your breath stutters in your chest and your hands shake. You can't help feeling as though you have stood in this exact spot before. Let's examine the device. A jumble of mismatched parts make up this once functional generator. You notice a familiar circular... Cercinate symbol? Excuse me. Etched into the metal like a maker's mark. Okay, I can't do anything, can I? Okay, leave the generator, I guess. Can't really do anything. So I will now be going to Caravanserai. We have a few quests there, I think. And also we need to go to Government District to take care of that, can I? What are you guys doing? Why can't you leave? What is going on? Oh, I have no idea what was going on there. I think it needs to be my character to activate that or something. I don't know. The game didn't get patched though, so that didn't happen before. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Okay, so Tarnak Hobs. Did I talk to him before? I think I did. I remember his name. This man's brow is creased with worry. He avoids your gaze, his eyes fixed on a point to your left and far away. His trembling, battered fingers pluck at the air. He stares through the chattering customers, the bar, as though he is utterly alone. Stepping closer, you see a thick blue crease running down his throat into the depths of his heavy robes. An orderly rows of azure holes pierce his bony arms, from elbow to wrist. Discord, he says as you approach. Scarred melody. Too many voices. Hurts. His words stream out one by one in a subdued and continuous monotone, tumbling over each other, as if in a blind rush to escape. Okay, I didn't say it like that, and I'm not gonna say it like that. So let's study the man, because apparently he doesn't notice me. He does not meet your eyes as you step closer to examine him. Instead, he winces, as though your presence is somehow painful to him. You watch him, or maybe he's afraid or something, on an instinctive level or something. You watch him move and track the twitching of his fingers. You hear a low vibrating whistle, though it is not coming from his mouth. What are you doing here? Wayfarers bring me broken Numenera. I repay them for pay. I need to eat. he cries, and you don't think you're the target of his anger. The Wayfarers thank me, he says, swallowing. They do not know I have remade their Numenera. They do not know they will also be remade. All will be remade when the choir awakens, he thinks. The choir. Can you remake any of my Numenera? Wait a minute. Do I even want that? So basically he remakes Numenera? Okay, let's see. Instead of asking to see your belongings, he looks at you for the first time. His pupils are as dark as the space between the stars. No, he says for after a long moment. His eyes flick back to whatever distant, terrible place has so captured his attention. You're wounded. A broken instrument. He has no use for you. He? What? Oh, you didn't even look at my belongings. Do I have anything that you can remake? No, you are worthy, but broken. This time he doesn't look at you. What are you staring at? The grand hall, the spiral pinned by broken columns, the invisible roof. He stops with a gasp, and a tear rolls down his dirty cheek. He tells me not to share our secrets with you. You are not of the choir. You are discord. Oh, that's what he meant when he said discord. Scarred melody. Too many voices. That's my character, right? A coil wind coils down from the rooftop, flicking at his tattered robes. My perception allows me to suddenly... I hear something beneath the flute-like notes of the breeze over the holes in the man's skin. A dry, angry voice speaking the word, a car. Must not speak of a car, he thinks. Okay, so both my perception and my thought reading is helping me there, knowing about a car. I didn't write it down before, I don't think. I think this is a new name. I'm gonna write it down right now, so I remember. But I do remember there was other names. I have it here on my notebook right now. Lorik. Yeah, it's a place. A ref, I think, as well. Sally Mary is the guy that we might want to kill because he apparently wants us dead or something like that. But a car we haven't heard of before. What does that mean, a car? You may as well have slapped the man. Well, I expected. With a white with shock, he doubles over, clutching at his chest. Beneath the man's agony, you sense otherworldly indignation and ageless despair, deep as oceans. So a car might be like a Cthulhu-like thing or something? Great Akar was once the mightiest of cities. Oh. And it will rise once more when the choir awakens. His gaze meets yours. The conductor will reward your curiosity and allow me to tell you what I have seen. You need only ask. So the conductor is who was talking to him. So I can ask. I wish to know what you have seen. Before my becoming, I found a pit ringed by stone, deep in the Arvrin wood. Broken pillars at the edges. I stepped inside, breathed the dusty air. He pauses, passing a shaking hand over his mouth. I was lost in the grand hall for days, decades. Pillars twisting like hallways, spiraling, the ringing of bells, whirling chandeliers, listening to the song of the lost choir. I was an audience, becoming an instrument. Finally, I slept, and I woke here, upon the heights. He took my voice, the man says, his eyes dull and distant. But my blood sings. I am becoming. I dream. And I remake Numenera for Wayfarers so they will become and dream as well. And together, we will go into the forest, to the ring where the Grand Hall once stood, and rebuild. He falls silent, eyes wide and wet, as if dreaming of the city that lives in his mind. So... what do you think you're becoming, then? What do you think everybody's gonna become? An instrument, he says, swaying. A doorway. Before I remade Numenera. Now I wake and find devices the constructor has made for me. He is generous. The conductor, not the constructor. The conductor. Look, he says, smiling and pulling aside his robes to bare his bony chest. Countless devices are embedded in his flesh, looping bloodlessly in and out of his ribs. That's, linked by tubes or wires to an opalescent sphere at the base of his throat. You study the blue crease, the subcutaneous cable leading up from the sphere into his skull. You suddenly recall seeing a similar device in your studies and understand what this one is meant to do. Soon, this man will go to sleep and something will wake in his place. In his body. A doorway indeed. Can we do something about that? I don't know if this is good. So, you said you were dreaming, that you dream. What of? Proud Akar at its peak. he says, gaze locked on the distant ruins of the city, instruments of metal and flesh ringing the balconies of the grand hall. The conductor, our heir, breathing him... What? Breathing him in? Oh yeah, he's breathing him in, forever. I can't do anything about him, can I? But I guess I'll see you later. I really don't want to become one of you guys, because apparently he's just becoming a drone or something like that. He's dead, effectively. Oh boy, that's not a good... That's not good. It's not good. I mean, the problem is the things are going in and out of his flesh bloodlessly, so it's already become part of that, so I don't really like that at all. Ugh, don't look at me so loud, he says. What about you, Sylph? Did I talk to you before? Oh yeah, I did. The porcelain woman looks up as you approach, patiently waiting for you to speak. Okay, I will see you later, Sylph. Take care. Yeah, I don't remember her, actually. So many characters. Changing our cultists around here. What do we have? We have been here before, of course, and we have slept over there. We're not gonna sleep right now because we can go back to the yeah, we don't need it for... I don't think we need to sleep right now. I think it would be a waste because everybody's got full things, full pools, so we should be okay. We should be okay, but we're out of time for the day, so let's be okay on the next episode. For now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment, Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye!